So Sue, what are we working on today?
Today we're going to be working on a primitive rag wreath.
A primitive rag wreath.
Yes.
Now what?
And I do several sizes, but I'm going to show you how to show you two sizes that I normally do.
Okay.
And this is a 3-inch wreath.
Okay.
3 inches is basically the circumference of the inside,
Okay.
and that is a 5-inch wreath. And basically, what I first start out with is an embroidery hoop, a wooden
Okay.
hoop, and actually this will make two. So I take my hoops apart and screw the tension one tight so it doesn't come open.
Right.
And this is what we're going to use as our base of the wreath. So that is the 5-inch one. This is the 3-inch one. And then I also do larger ones as well. But these seem to be perfect for everybody's decor. These can also double as a candle ring. So I usually put that on the tag that they can be like a mini wreath or a candle ring.
Well, these are so popular. I mean, it's I don't know how many of these we go through here in a week's time. And you're getting ready to show us a little bit of the trick of putting them together. How long does it take you to do this?
Geez, good question. Because when I sit down, I have a whole ton of stuff in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm not making just one. I'm making a ton.
You're right, yeah.
So it's really hard for me to say, like how long it takes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd say you could easily make one within an hour from start to finish.
Okay.
Or less.
This is what amazes me. We talked about you on Facebook Live. You know, one night we did a little walkthrough of your space, of your showcase, and it's always so full, but it's always so much stuff coming through the counter. And I'm like, okay, if it takes an hour or so to do. One of the questions I have all the time, because I see how much of the product comes through, how the customers respond to it. Your showcase is always so full of stuff, and I'm like, when in the world does Sue have time to do it? Because I know you and Bob are busy in so many local and community activities. Do you just sit up at night and kind of relax and work on all these different items and stuff?
I do. This making things and feeding people is my happy place.
Well, I like that. I like to be fed.
Yeah.
Does that mean
yeah.
You're going to start bringing me some goodies and stuff?
Well, if you ask Bob, I don't. Now that it's just the two of us, because the kids are all grown, grandkids grown, and we live far apart from each other. When I cook enough for an army, and Bob does not like leftovers.
Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, you have brought me some goodies before, and they're always.
I haven't in a while.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. We'll let it slide.
Okay.
It's not a requirement. It is very appreciated, but it's not a requirement. I mentioned that you and Bob are involved in a lot of community activities, and we talked a little bit about it on our Facebook Live, where we were kind of highlighting your showcase. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with some of the local charities and some of the food banks and helping some of the needy families. And tell us a little bit about that. We've mentioned it before on Facebook, but it really it's an encouraging and uplifting involvement that you guys have.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's a gift that God has given to Bob and I to serve our community, whoever is in need. It started, we've been down here 21 years. We moved down here from Pennsylvania. And it started, I was taking a shower, and God hit me upside the head and said, hey, you need to feed the people.
Yeah.
Because he gave me the gifts to cook in bunches. And so probably about 13 years ago, Bob and I just started making meals. We got permission from Grace Episcopal Church. We started making meals and just setting up tables and serving in their parking lot. So whoever came got fed. And we would just do takeout boxes because there was nowhere to sit. So we started that, and then we kind of got pulled into helping at Grace Episcopal had a they had a food pantry, and they had a nice meal for people on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
So we started helping with that, and that evolved into a separate pantry called Loaves and Fishes at the Trinity Church. They moved it to the Trinity Church here in Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every Saturday, and we show up around 9 o'clock, and we get donations from the local Food Lions
Mm-hmm.
around. So all week long, the guys are going and picking up truckloads of food.
Yeah.
And so it's the only pantry that is set up that actually the people can pick out what they want.
Kind of come in a shopping environment.
Like a shopping
yeah.
environment, yeah. We're still doing the precautions for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They're not allowed to touch anything, but they can point to what they want.
Sure.
We wear gloves, we wear masks,
Yeah.
and they have to wear masks to come in. But it works out great.
Yeah, I know over the years I've come in contact when I had the furniture store here.
Yes.
And of course recently I've come in contact with different individuals as they've come through that have been affected
Yes.
with y'all's generosity and
Oh,
help
good.
and helped them get through a time, and it's always been encouraging to hear, and then full circle to come up and have you and Bob involved with what we're doing here at Evenbrook has been a lot of fun because not to get overly sappy or corny, but I mean the personalities here at Evenbrook are really what makes it, and you and Bob have certainly been some wonderful personalities to get to know.
you.
And everybody that gets to interact with you is certainly walks away feeling blessed and uplifted. And
As I do in return.
well, thank you so much.
This is my happy place, just
Well,
coming
good.
here and walking around and
Yeah,
being amongst old things.
sure.
Not you, Brad.
Not me. I'm still right.
Not you.
I'm sort of processing that one. Okay. Oh, it's a compliment, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. And so many of our customers are getting to know Sue, whether they've got to meet you or not. They come in and say, has Sue been in and restocked? Because your product is so versatile. It's so seasonal. You're always so good to have everything kind of up to date and seasonal. As I've mentioned before, other vendors like your product because you have it priced so reasonably. They can purchase it, put it in some of the other great venues that are around, and kind of spread your joy to other
good.
people. So, for example, like a 5-inch rag wreath here is $6. How much are your 3-inch ones?
$4.
$4.
Mm-hmm.
And you have, we'll look closer at it, you have these really well-crafted indoor-outdoor pillows that are $7 and $8. And it's just such a good value. So if you ever want to meet Sue, I will give a little, I've mentioned it before, a little insider tip. Usually on Tuesdays and or Wednesdays, Sue will be popping in and out to restock. So if you want to come in and harass her a little bit, that's a good time to do that. So we kind of got off track there.
Yeah.
So real quick, what are some of the steps to making a rag wreath like this?
I usually only buy homespun fabrics, and homespun, it's called that. It's wonderful because they still make it like the colonial people did way back when, meaning that it's hand dyed and woven. And the beauty of this fabric is that there is no front and back. It's not just printed on. This is a woven fabric with the different colors creating. They're usually always plaid or striped,
Yeah.
which is like your bed tickings. The same as the front as it is on the back, which is I love. And since it's woven, you don't have to get out a yardstick and measure. It's going to, if you start, I usually start with like my scissors, like a little, maybe an inch apart for making these wreaths. And if you start, you can rip it,
Oh, just
and it's going to rip
in a straight line.
clean in a straight line. And then I usually like to use like 2 or 3 colors, different colors. So once I have some pieces stripped, and I usually buy like a yard, but probably a half a yard would make one of these wreaths.
Mhm.
Then I'll just take and Is that about 8 inches,
I would
6
say
inches,
so, yeah.
6, 8 inches. And I'm going to fold my strip so I have like 6 to 8 inch pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So after I got a nice little pile of them all stripped like that, I'm going to take, I took my embroidery hoops apart, so now I can make 2 wreaths. And I'm going to take and I'm going to fold the fabric, a piece of the fabric in half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a slip knot, I believe it's called. So you're going to take the loop and you're going to grab the loose ends and pull it tight. You can decide how you want to make your pattern. I usually do 2 of one kind, 2 of another, and then do that the entire way around.
Right.
So you're going to do that the whole way around the wreath. Then what I do after the whole way around is finished, it's going to look basically kind of like that. So what I do is I go back, and I like a fuller wreath. So I'm just going to make a knot halfway into my rag piece, and I'm going to hot glue it. And I'm going to follow my pattern. I would do, you know, red on red, black on black. I'm going to follow my pattern, just doing 1 layer around the entire wreath. And then I love buttons. I have buttons by the thousands. So what I do is then go back and glue buttons on. You can embellish it with burlap bows or jute bows. This one has a jute bow on it. But basically that's all it is. Just a lot of stripping the fabric.
So it's a simple process, but it just takes time, and what you've done for so many people is saved them the time.
Yeah.
Having it here for
They just have to take it home and hang it.
Well, wonderful.
That's the fun part.
That's the fun part. We've enjoyed taking a look at your showcase. You've got so many things to choose from: the indoor-outdoor pillows, rag rugs, the rag wreaths, of course. And but most importantly, I just appreciate you taking time to sit down with us and let us kind of get to know you a little bit.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so it is, in all seriousness, the personalities, I've always said there's 2 entities that really make Edenbrook what it is. It's you, the customer. We enjoy so much coming in and interacting with you guys, getting to know you, where you're from, and making sure that you have a good time while you're here, just enjoy all the things that Edenbrook has to offer. And the other group is the vendors. The vendors are certainly who make it exciting and give us such a broad and diverse selection of products for you to come in and see. And those personalities just stand out. And Sue, you are definitely a standout. So
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, and I look forward to the next batch of goodies that you bring me to eat. So
Great.
folks, thank y'all for joining us today on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and like it, and we'll have something interesting coming up for you as well. And have a wonderful time.
Bye.